Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of the HT Physio Quick Tip series. If you don't know who I am, my name is Will Harlow and I'm the Over-Fifties specialist physio here at HT Physio in Farnham. And today I'm going to be revealing some exercises to help you strengthen your lower back. Now, many people who have back pain have been told, oh, you need to get your back nice and strong. And in my experience, this is actually poor advice. But let me finish before you jump away from the video. We are going to teach you how to strengthen your back. But in my experience, most people already have very tight, very switched on, and probably quite strong lower backs. So it isn't usually the back itself that needs to be strengthened to allow the whole thing to feel safer. It's two different areas instead. So if you want a stronger lower back, rather than focusing on doing things like back extensions and deadlifts, we need to focus on exercises that strengthen two different areas that tend to be very weak, but these areas can hide away for a long time. So the first area we're going to work on strengthening is the core, and the core is a corset of muscles that wraps around your midriff, so it does actually make up part of your back too, and this will give you a stronger back as a result. And the second area are your glutes, and these are the muscle groups at the back of the hip, and they are very, very important for any spinal movement. Your glutes and your back work together quite often, so if you don't have strong glutes, you won't have a very well protected lower back. So let's have a look at the exercises. I'm going to give you two for each area, two core exercises and two glute exercises, and hopefully over time this will give you a stronger lower back. Now before we dive in, these exercises are not suitable for everyone. Make sure you get checked out by a practitioner before you start doing them, and if they make your pain worse, stop them straight away. Let's have a look at the exercises now. So I'm going to show you some exercises to strengthen both the glutes and the core and hopefully build up strength in your lower back as a result. So the first exercise I'm going to show you is a pure core exercise, which I call toe dips. And it's one of my favorite core exercises for people who want to solidify the area around here, okay? So what you're gonna do is you're gonna lie on a nice stable surface, either a firm mattress or a mat on the floor, and you're gonna have both knees bent up. And the first thing we're gonna do is we're just gonna put our hands by our lower backs like this, just to feel the area underneath the back. And what we should find if we're fully relaxed is you can quite easily get your hand underneath here like that. So what we're gonna do now is just gonna push down with our spine into our hands. We're not going to do 100%, probably just 80%. And what you'll feel is your back flattens and your tummy muscles switch on. So that's going to make up the first part of how we do this exercise. And then what we're going to do is you're just going to bring one leg up to 90 degrees like this. And then you're going to bring the other one up to meet it here. Okay? Now you'll feel that now I've taken away two bases of support down there, my tummy muscles have to work even harder. So for some people, this will be enough to feel their core strengthening. They might start to shake in their tummy muscles. And for those people, all you should do is alternate between having them up and down. So I would go flatten the back, up like this, and just bring it up to meet it. Again, we just want to keep our tummy switched on throughout, and then put the first one down and then the second one down. So that would be enough for many people. But if you're a bit stronger, if you don't feel that that challenges you at all, and you don't feel like it's putting any stress on your lower back, you could go to the next stage, and that would be to flatten your back, bring one leg up like this, and then bring the other one up to meet it. And then instead of putting them down, we're just going to dangle them down, touch the toe, and then bring it back up again. So one stays static and the other one gently dangles down, you touch the toe and you bring it back up. Now the challenge here is to keep this flat all the time, because if it starts to lift up, you're going to put stress on your back and you're going to use your hip flexors instead, none of which is ideal. So drop down and touch and back up, and drop down and touch and back up. And for most people, it won't be too long before you start to feel some tiredness here. So I'd recommend you keep going to the point of a bit of fatigue, never to back pain. If you get back pain doing this, you've done too much. And then you're just going to stop, pause for a bit. You might do another set or maybe two. So it'll be 3 sets total for most people, and that will be a great way to engage the core and to start building some strength. Now the second exercise I'm going to show you is the bridge. And the bridge is a great exercise, not just for the core, but also for the glutes, which are the other part of the equation here, okay? So we start in exactly the same position, so nice firm surface, feet flat on the floor, and we want our feet to be as close to our bottom as we can comfortably, okay? So we're going to start with exactly the same thing. We're just going to flatten that lower back down into the bed, about 70–80%. And this time we're going to push through the heels, lift the bottom up in the air, just to the point where we feel like we've got a straight body, and then squeeze your bottom together. Now I see people with back pain make a big mistake with this exercise. They go to there. And what that does is it extends the spine, and it will start to put stress through the lower back instead. So all I want you to do is to just take yourself up to straight and then squeeze the bum. And that tends to take stress off the spine. Now for some people, the bridge can be painful no matter what they do. So for those people, they should avoid the bridge. But for many people, this is a great strengthening exercise for your glutes. And you'll also feel it working your core as well. So you come up, you hold for a second, you squeeze your bottom, and then you bring yourself slowly back down to the bed. And I would just keep repeating until you've got a working ache in your glutes. And that tends to be a great way to start with the bridge and to start building some strength in your buttocks. Now the third exercise we're going to do, and this is a glute exercise, is the clam. And this is a fantastic exercise to strengthen the hips and the areas that support the back. And it will lead to a stronger lower back as a result. So what we're going to do is you're going to lie on your side on that nice stable surface. The first thing we need to do is we need to make sure our body's in the right position. So we're going to roll the body forward and put the hand flat, just so we can support ourselves with our hand. And you want a little bit of your weight going through your hand, okay? Most people do this exercise wrong. They start too far back, and doing this, they're not going to work the right muscles at all. So we need to be further forward than feels natural. You want your heels together, you want your knees together, and you're going to lock your pelvis in position so it doesn't move. Now the clam is very simple. We just lift that top knee, keeping everything nice and still, just as far as you feel you can before you start to roll back, and then slowly come back down. So for you, that might look like a much smaller movement than you were expecting, but that's because this is the correct way to do it. This is the way that gets the most benefit in the glutes and the muscles around the hip. So it's a small movement. We're just lifting that top knee, a bit of a squeeze at the top there, just so we can activate this muscle here. And where you should feel it is exactly where my hand is now. So just here, top of the hip, or around the buttock region. If you can't feel it there, chances are you're in the wrong position. So have a play around with you going further forward, or bring your legs a bit further up like this. You'll feel it in different places depending on where your legs are, okay? So I like to have probably I would say is that 70 degrees from there to there, rather than 90, I would say so. Probably 60, 70 degrees there. And then keep your body forward and just lift up like that. That's where I can feel it most in my glutes. And what I would do is just a set to fatigue, probably 10, 15, 20 repetitions, and then roll over and do the other side. Try to do that a couple of times a day, and that will lead to stronger glutes as a result. And then the last exercise we're going to cover today is the Paloff Press. And this is a brilliant core exercise which has an anti-rotation component, which means it stops you from having unwanted twists and turns as you're moving around, because it strengthens the muscles on the outside of the core. So these obliques get stronger, and it stops you from losing control when you walk and when you move. So to make this exercise work, you need a resistance band, and you need something really nice and sturdy to attach it to. So I've just attached it to my bed here. And what we're going to do is we're going to stand at right angles to the thing that we've attached the band to. And you want to stand at a point where, having it out like this, there's some tension on the band, so it's trying to pull you in, but you can resist against it. So you're going to hold the band like this. You're going to put this hand over the band like this, and then the other one over the top of the hand. And we want to start with the band close to our chest. And you're just going to go into a very slight squatted position, and you want your bottom to be squeezed. So you activate your glutes by squeezing your bottom together. Now in this position, the band's trying to pull me this way, and already I'm having to activate my tummy muscles just to keep myself here. And the exercise is simple. All we're going to do is keep that good posture and press the band in front, and then bring it back to here. So when we press it out like this, that increases the force, so it feels like it wants to pull me like this. I'm trying to resist it, and we keep our body face on to the front. So we're not allowing the band to twist us. To make this harder, obviously you would step further away from the band so there's more resistance there trying to pull us inwards, or you would get a stronger band to make this harder as well. Now if you don't want to use one of these and you've got access to a cable machine, this is a particularly good exercise for a cable machine at the gym. Obviously you'd put your pin into the right weight, you'd attach the handle, you bring the handle out to here, and you do exactly the same thing. And then once you've done it on one side, you would swap over. So you face this time the opposite way. Nothing changes. You squeeze your bottom like this, and the exercise is pulling it in and then having it out, trying to keep your posture as straight as possible. Nothing changes apart from the arms coming in and out. Now, once you've finished the set, you're going to start to feel some fatigue around here. That's a good sign. That's what we want. We shouldn't feel back pain. If you do, then you're making the resistance too high, or you're choosing too heavy a weight. So cut it down a little bit. And what you do is work to the point of fatigue. Try and do that a few times over and add that to your routine as well, and it will be a great way to strengthen your lower back. So that's how to strengthen your lower back and build safety and security and stability in the back. I hope you found this video useful. If you have, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave me a comment below because I love to read your thoughts. And if you want to get more from me, you can pick up a copy of my book. It's called Thriving Beyond 50, and you can find it on Amazon using the link below. And if you've read the book and you enjoyed it, please do head over to Amazon and leave me a review on the book because I love to read your thoughts there too. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your time and I look forward to speaking to you on the next video.